This one is for if you're not a private candidate, which would be most of us. For English B, paper 1, 29% of your total score, 60 multiple choice questions. And instead of an hour and a half, which you have for English A, you have 2 hours for the English B, which is still not enough time because there's so much reading to do in English B paper 1. Then you have paper 2, 2 hours 10 minutes, and that's 50% of your total score. Continuous prose because you'll be writing essays. And you have your SBA. And of course, if you're a private candidate, you will have your paper 3 instead of the SBA. All right, English B, paper 1. All right, so we're looking at each paper now. You have 60 multiple choice questions, all compulsory. Each genre will have 2 stimuli, one piece of Caribbean literature and one other. What are the genres? Drama, poetry, and prose. Those are the genres. Each genre will have 2 stimuli. So you'll have 2 drama texts, 2 poetry texts, 2 prose texts. And for each text, you have 10 questions, right? So 10 times 6 equals 60. 20 times 3 equals 60. 60 questions. What about your paper 2? You only have 3 sections, drama, poetry, and prose, 35 marks each. Yeah. All right, let's look at each section for the English B people. Section A, we're going to be looking at the Shakespeare and modern drama in section A. This question contains 2 type A questions, which means in each of these questions, you're only looking at one text, one on each text. Candidates must answer one question from this section. You're going to get 2 options. You only choose one question. Here's an example. Section A, drama, either or. So you pick one. You can answer a 12th night question, and this question will be only on 12th night. You're not comparing 2 texts. You're only looking at one text. Or you can answer the Anansi question, which is all about Anansi. Yeah, so that's an example. Section B consists of 2 type B questions. One generic question allowing candidates to use 2 appropriate choices from the prescribed poems, and one based on 2 named poems from the prescribed list. And they're going to answer one question. Here's an example. Section B, poetry. You can choose the question that tells you which 2 poems to write about, in this case, South and Sonnet. Or you can choose the question that gives you a prompt and you choose what 2 poems you want to write about. Yeah. So you have these 2 types of questions. Either way, you need to go into the exam mastering, knowing all 20 poems. Yes. And what about section C, prose fiction? Here we have 4 questions, 2 type A and 2 type B. Let's quickly look at those questions. So you can choose between, you're going to choose only one question from these 4, only one question. You can choose one of the novels, so in this case, Animal Farm or Life of Letitia, or you can choose to discuss 2 other short stories. So only one question from this entire section, covering the novels and the 10 short stories. So if you want to have all the options available, you need to go into the exam knowing Animal Farm, Letitia, and the 10 stories. That way, you can choose whichever question is the easiest for you on the day of the exam.